Hi guys, how are you? Welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to ask, what lessons have you learned from COVID-19? Yeah, because COVID-19 came, it was a major pandemic and a major change that we had to adapt to. And there's nothing we can do about it now. It has happened, it has affected our lives, how it has affected. But I think we can, what we are left with is the lessons. What lessons can we learn? What lessons have we learned from COVID-19? For me, I think I've learned that change is inevitable. Change is the only constant. Whether you like it or not, change will happen. And when it happens, you will not even, it does not send a request. It just happens. And you have either to adapt or you will be swallowed by the changes that are happening. So change is inevitable and we need to be very flexible. We need to be very ready to adapt to change. We have to move with speed to ensure that we find a place to fix ourselves when the change happens. And the only way we can do that, I feel like, is by knowing our skills and our strong points, our talents, something that you can do whatever else is happening, something that does not require you to be employed. A lot of people have lost their sources of employment. A lot of people have no livelihoods, right? Because wherever they were working, they have closed shop. But if you had your own skill and your own talent, I feel like those are the only people who are still relevant, who are still able to do their own things without feeling so much over. Of course, they have felt a little turbulence, but they are able to readjust themselves and adapt and make the necessary changes to make sure that they stay afloat. So for me, I think COVID-19 has taught me that change is inevitable and we have to be more than willing to change. We cannot say this is how things have been done and this is how we shall continue to do things. We are not changing. This is our way of doing things. We have to change that narrative. We have to adapt. We have to look for ways to do things and to live in this environment. And the other lesson I've learned from COVID-19 is that we have to change how we think about schooling and curriculum, because the Kenyan curriculum, I think, is not very good. Most people have courses who are jobless, and most people have lost their jobs after they have all these papers and they cannot get unemployment and their jobs were quickly slashed off. The only people who are maybe still employed are those people who probably didn't, the hairstylists, the Uber drivers, the, what do you call them? Basically, people who are actually offering services that are mainly one-on-one, but people who are easily disposable, who have gone to school and studied really hard, have been disposed. So I think it's high time that we rethink our choices in colleges and in tertiary education. So so that we do something, so that it's not something that everybody else is doing, but we do something that we actually want to do, something that we love to do, something that can make us employable anywhere, or we can self-employ ourselves. We don't necessarily require somebody to employ us. So I think for me, what I've learned is education is almost becoming obsolete. It's, you know, like people should do things that they could actually teach themselves. Go online, learn something and do it. Because I think this other education system in Kenya is not taking us anywhere. It has failed us big time. It has failed us, and we are not going to be able to recover from it. So what I'm wondering, if this is the kind of education that has so many graduates who are jobless, so what will do I also want to take my children through that? Children who are in lower primary and upper primary, will they still go through the same? A child finishes primary school, goes to high school, does the same things that you did as your parents did, that you did, that are being done by people who graduated almost some up to 10 or 15 years ago, and they have no employment. And the children, we want them to go through the same cycle. I think it's a high time that we really embraced the realization of talent and skills as young as possible, so that children can start employing themselves. Who said they have to wait for all those years? And you go to school for so many years, and at the end of it, you come out and start hunting for a job for an equally longer period of time. And most times, you will not get that job. Most people who have even doctorates and PhDs, they end up doing some businesses to try and stay relevant, because their education does not help much. And in those businesses, they are also not skilled enough, because our education system does not train us the way we should be trained. You're taught business by somebody who has never put up their own business. So they're just teaching you on paper what they have read. They have no experience. You're taught about some funny courses by someone who has no real experience. They're just a teacher. They're just there to pass you information that is not practical. So I feel it's better that we teach children skills, to work on their skills and their talents, and to make sure that they learn on the job, learn on experience. I think the internet has enough materials to offer on that. Children and anybody who is doing a course right now, it's better that you look for, just even do it online. Don't waste all that money on college. Don't go to college if you have not decided which course you really are passionate about. Don't just go because you had an A or an A minus or a B plus, and you have been told to do doctor or engineer, whoever, which are good courses. We need all those people. But if you're not passionate about it, if it's not something that you really can pursue as a talent and as a skill, it's best that you evaluate. And 2020 has given everybody ample time to reevaluate themselves, to repackage themselves, and decide what it is that they want to pursue in life. So those are lessons that I've learned about 2020, and the need to embrace change, and the need to live your life to the fullest, because life is short. Live your life to the fullest without apology. If you can, travel. If you can, do all the adventuring that you can. Enjoy your life. Do the things that you have always been saying you will be doing. You have all the time anyway. So why not do them? Do all those things that you have been putting away and saying you don't have enough time, and do them, because life is too short and life can be cut short, and we do not know. Tomorrow is not promised. So yeah, there are many lessons, and definitely, if 2020 should not leave us the same way we were, it should make us better, and we should make sure that we come out better, that all this time has not been wasted. We have developed ourselves, and we have learned, and we have adjusted, and we are ready to go to the future. Goodbye.